a minute. How y'all doing? Love to you too. Thank you for being here, Roy. I am excited to see y'all, and I am excited to be back at doing this live and to get into a weekly forecast. So, we're going to start by pulling a card for each day of the week, kind of just get the vibe of what's showing up for all of us, because all of us who are collected here, there is a through line, right? So we're going to pull a card, get the vibe, and then we are going to pull a fiercely focused spread for each element: earth, air, fire, water, see what's going on, love, money, work, etc. Nice and comprehensive. We're also in the midst of a new moon. So, astrological weather speaking, things are on the wax, things are on the increase. This is the time to begin to build something. So, keep that in mind as we get into the vibe of the week for the collective. I want to ask those of you who feel inclined, take a second and set yourself up to get the best reading. Know that whatever steps forward, happy, sad, good, bad, ugly, it is for your highest good. Spirit is only bringing it out to help you, prep the go bag. If we happen to see a tower card, right? So nothing to worry about, everything to use. Okay. Yay, I'm happy to be here. Whoop. Okay. All right. Spirit's happy to be here too. Let's talk. Let's get into today till next Saturday and set ourselves up. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit, let's take a look at today. What's showing up today that we need to be aware of for our highest good? And Sunday. And don't worry, I'll pick up and show you everything in just a sec. Okay. Monday. Tuesday, beautiful. Wednesday. Thursday, beautiful. Friday, makes sense to me. Saturday, pretty gorgeous. Okay, let's talk today. Six of Pentacles. Are you getting for what you deserve, and are you asking for it? If you are not receiving in the way that you would like to, this is the right time to say, hey, I could really use this. Or, hey, you remember that $10 from a couple months ago? I could really use it back. Don't be afraid to ask for and to take what is yours. That's really what I'm hearing, is like, this isn't even about like, be polite. This is something that is yours, and I want to invite you to take it. Tomorrow is a beautiful day. Sunday, the lovers. A bold choice. And we're going to look at what these cards all together spell out. So we're going to start individually and then we'll kind of zoom out. Today, taking what is yours and balancing the budget, essentially balancing your financial as well as your energetic budget. Are there places in your life where you're like going overboard, doing overtime when you don't need to do overtime? Are there places where you could pull back for your own good? And are there places where pulling back would allow you to give more in this other area? That's what I'm hearing. So it's kind of like, I'm going to say harmony more than balance. Like there might be a discordant note over here in your emotional realm. And you might need to create some space by moving people away from you who take. Or you might just need to lay down some ground rules. But one way or another, you want to make sure things are in balance, because tomorrow there is this beautiful invitation. So you don't want to miss out on the invitation because, for example, you overpromised this other thing or you whatever. Like, keep in balance because something beautiful is arriving. Now, Monday. A case of the Mondays. This makes sense. Monday, Two of Swords, a little bit stuck. A little bit, what Spirit is saying is like too much information to the point where we want to shut everything and everybody out. And I want to say that, especially looking at Tuesday, if you get overwhelmed, that's a moment to ground. If you're all up in your head, what is the opposite of air? The opposite of air is earth, right? That's its complementary element. So touch grass, as they say. Sit down on the floor, take a deep breath, maybe lay down on the floor and just feel gravity pulling you in, and remember that you are here. You are not over there, over there, over there, over there, over there. No, I'm right here. And right here is everything that I can do. So I kind of feel like there's an opportunity to get lost in the sauce, to get stuck in your head, to feel like, oh, I don't want to do it wrong, so I'll just stay here. I don't want to go this way because maybe it's that way, and what if I go that way and it turns out to be this way? If you're in that mindset, that is not the right place to be making decisions anyway. So best to take a walk. Hey there, Mac, happy to see you. Best to take a walk. Best to take a shower. Best to, clean up the house and really like get, Spirit is really showing me somebody down on the floor scrubbing the floors because it's like clearing out the mind. You ever been on like a really long, excuse me, a long run? And there's something very therapeutic about it because it's like I literally can't think about anything except putting one foot in front of the other. Except like sticking through this even though it's really difficult. Hey Jennifer, happy to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited. So, do something that gets you out of your mind and back into your body, and I think things will become a little clearer to you. There's a little bit of too much information, so don't be afraid to log off, step back. Now, I love to see that following that, Tuesday, Two of Swords turning into a Two of Pentacles. Two of Swords turning into, I don't know which thing to think, so actually I'm going to do this. I'm going to take some physical action. I'm going to remove this from one side of the scale and put it on the other. There's a balance, another theme of balance here, Six of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. And remember that pentacles are money, but they are also your all sorts of resources as well as time, because time may be intangible, but we all run on it, right? The same way we all have to run on money, even though money is this intangible idea, but the world runs on time. The world runs on money. So how balanced or imbalanced are you? It's time to consider that. And Spirit is saying, how can you create more flow for yourself? It's really funny. They're saying some of you get so stuck in that Two of Swords place that it's like you could use like a logic tree. Like, if I wake up at 8:30 a.m., do this, this, this. If I wake up at 7 a.m., do this, 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 this. Make it a little easier for yourself. Make yourself a few more no-brainers. There's too many brainers. Like, as simple as, I'm going to get out every single outfit that I need to wear this week. And I'm going to make it easier for myself every single morning because I already know this is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday. That's a very simple version of what we're talking about here. Make it simple. Make it really fucking simple. If it's too hard and complicated and it requires a whole lot of thinking, you should probably drop it, go take a walk, go take a nap, go talk to a friend, oh, this is a good one. Turn on 2 or 3 of the best songs that you know, turn them up loud, and dance around till you're exhausted. And then come back to that shit, okay? Come back to that shit with a little bit more joy, energy, upliftment, movement in your body. It's very stuck, still energy right here. So some of you might also sit down at a desk and be there all day long. Makes a lot of sense. Monday, it's like, sets me up to stay like this all week. So let's refuse that. Let's set an alarm every hour. I'm going to get up and walk around, even if it's just walk around my apartment for like 5 minutes, because I'm just sitting here like this and I'm turning into a robot. My body tells my mind what's happening, and my body is like, well, this sucks. So my mind is going to go, wow, this sucks, and here's all the reason it sucks, and it sucks because this and that, and connected to that, and then blah, blah, blah. And then before you know it, you're here. So, Wednesday. It's a lot. Spirit is saying, this makes a lot of sense. We are once again in a phase of time where there is just too much coming at us. Looking at the news, looking at world events, it's like overwhelm, total overwhelm with like, well, what do I focus on? What do I do? I have all these dreams. I have all these beautiful ideas. I have all these things that I could go for. And, okay, Spirit just said something really poignant, which is some of you are like making yourselves feel bad for not being able to do 100 things exceptionally well. And like, that's crazy because nobody can do that. You know, you might want to become a little bit more of a specialist this week. That's what I'm hearing. It's like, what can I control? What is within my control that if I address it, It's going to take stress off of me. It's going to narrow my focus. So again, I'm going to come back to things like, if in the back of your mind there's been a closet that has been bugging the shit out of you and you haven't cleaned it, and also, and this is just what Spirit is showing me, okay? It's like, here's this big nasty closet that's full of all the stuff. It might be metaphorical for some of you. And I haven't been able to write my book, or I haven't been able to start my channel, or I haven't been able to fill in the blank, do this big thing that I really want to do, but I keep putting gates in front of myself, and there's, oh, but I can't think about that because if I haven't cleaned the closet, then I don't have a right to write a book. Okay, great. Clean out the fucking closet. Wonderful. Now you know, once the closet is clean, there's a lot of bandwidth, a whole lot of room freed up in your brain. So don't be afraid to get pentacly. Don't be afraid to get earthy about it. That's probably a really fucking great antidote. You know, we're looking at air, we're looking at water. Earth is the antidote for both of those. When we get a little too emotional, it's great to clear our mind, walk, ground. Same thing with our mental headspace. Now, I love to see Friday. Oh, hello, I'm jumping. Thursday. Celebration and a reduction in cups. There is also something here about getting together with people that you love is really important. People that you vibe with. Some of you might be kind of soldiering on. Some of you might be carrying everything all on your own and all by yourself. And I feel like it's time to connect/reconnect with people that support you and that really see you. And in this day and age, it's a simple truth that for a lot of us, those people don't exist in our physical life. It's not like, oh, there's a neighbor or a person down the block that necessarily gets me. For those of you who have that beautiful, wonderful get together, for those of you that don't, there are all kinds of affinity groups. You know what I mean? Excuse me, whether it's like meme groups about a certain cult classic movie that you love and being around. It's like, this is why Spirit is bringing up a cult classic. It's like there is something about a cult classic where it's like we all know why we love this, and we all have to have this weirdness or this kink or this whatever in common in order to love this thing. So even doing something like, I know this is so specific, but Spirit's like, maybe for some of you there's going to be like a local or a digital showing, like a live movie party of like, you know, Twin Peaks or whatever, and get together with those people because those people might be able to see you a way other people can't because you know that you have this commonality. I think that you are also coming up with some new ideas and getting around people that you can harmonize with. I mean, think about 3-part harmony. I sing my note, they sing their note, and they sing their note, and together the three of us create this beautiful vibratory harmonic thing. So whatever it is that's yours that you want to do, you could also be served beyond, you know, getting down on the floors and scrubbing your scrubbing the floors or cleaning out the metaphorical or the literal closet. Getting with people and letting them reflect back to you what they see and what they feel about you and lift you. You need some upliftment. That's what I'm really hearing. And again, in these times, I feel like it makes a lot of sense that the whole collective could use a few more friends. And I mean real friends. Like, not to denigrate like social media friends or anything like that. There can be real connections there. And how much of yourself do you feel free to truly share? And who are those select few people that you can really share it with? Reach out, join up, collect. We are, again, in a phase of life and in a phase of repeating history where knowing who your true allies are, who really has your back, who really aligns with you mentally, emotionally, politically, that is really important because shit is getting really wild. So I will just say that. And we will leave that right there. So beautifully, Thursday looks like celebration. Friday looks like clarity. Friday looks like, oh my God, scrubbing the floors or cleaning the closet and getting with those friends or like that mastermind group. It can be like that too, where it's like they see me, they know me, we all have, you know, it's like accountability buddies. We all want to create our art, or we all want to help save the world in a terrible time, or whatever it is. We came up with a plan. And whether it's a we or whether it's a you, there is a sense of moving away from, I don't know what to do, and I don't know which way to go, so I'm just going to stay right here and maybe try to keep getting information. Keep getting information. More information isn't going to help. That's just what I'm hearing. Like, you've got plenty. You've got too much information to like integrate and process. So you won't be feeling that way by Friday if you are willing to do those things that Spirit was talking about. Get with your people, take care of the stuff that, oh, I can't start my morning routine because my sock drawer is still all messy. Great, clean it. Great, clean out another area of your mind. Six of Swords, moving forward, creating a good plan. This is a great sense of clarity and of moving away from confusion, from stagnation, from, I don't know, and also pettiness and conflict, and moving toward, I know exactly what I need to do. And I want to be really clear about what I mean by exactly. Exactly doesn't mean I'm going to do this, 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 and you have a 100-step plan. It's look at the compass. I know what is aligned with me, and I know what isn't. And if something isn't aligned with me, I'm not going to go in that direction because that's just going to leave me here. So when the clarity comes, trust it. I feel that for some of you, what I'm hearing is there's a person who's going to say something to you that just feels like a lightning bolt. And this could come through a friend, this could come through a meme, like, but it's like somebody says something this week that a lot of people are going to have the experience of, damn, I never thought of it that way. And now I know one of the things that I need to do or cut off and not do. And that itself is liberating. So it's kind of like Spirit is like cut bait. It's cut losses. It's cut like drop the anchor and go. So I love to see that action and a real. There's a high emotional wave this week, but I feel like it ends at a really good place, especially because our card for next Saturday, our card for the end of this week to next week, is the Chariot. So talk about finding your direction and pulling in the way that you want to go. The Chariot is the ultimate victory. It is the overcoming of obstacles and actually the leveraging of the obstacles, and the obstacles become something that actually helps you get to where you're going. The friction that helps you create traction. So whatever it is that you are deciding, hey, Fernando, welcome, welcome, glad you're here. Whatever it is that you are deciding, Spirit is saying it has to do with who you really are. One of the, I'll say, quote unquote, benefits of living in such intense, in many ways, sort of binary seeming times is that it really helps you see who you are and who other people are. And if there are still people around you who, like, don't understand that history is repeating itself, for example, those might not be the people that you want to invite to your accountability buddy group, or your drinking night, or your house party, or your mastermind group. What do I really believe? Who do I want to be? I'm going to say something deep right now, okay? When you die, right, which none of us is getting out of here alive, there's a moment of reflection and of life review. And when you look back, what do you want to see? How do you want to behave? I'm going to give you another question that I often ask myself if I'm stuck between, like, do I take this action or not? How will I feel about this in 40 years? In 40 years, when, hopefully I live that long, when I am old and gray and my tits are in my shoes and I'm looking back at my life, I want to be really fucking proud of who I am. I want to be really proud of the directions that I took and that I didn't stay too long in any kind of wavering or mealy-mouthed or, oh, maybe everybody's right. Maybe the fuck not. And maybe you know who you are, and maybe you know what's right, and you've just been waiting for permission to go in that direction in a kind of unapologetic way. Commitment is a huge factor of the Chariot. Jimmy! Hi, hi, hi! When it comes to making what is the right decision, it is, again, how will I feel about this in 40 years? if you have something you want to say, if you have the book you want to write, if you have the channel you want to create, whatever, in 40 years, will you be like, whew, glad I never embarrassed myself by putting myself out there and putting my funny little silly ideas out there? Or will you be like, damn, that was brave. I'm so glad that I asked that person out, or whatever. I did the karaoke. I could sit here and be like, God, this is so embarrassing. My friends are asking me to do this karaoke. Or I could be like, in 40 years, I don't want to look back and think of all the times that I hesitated to do the thing that seemed like maybe it was fun, but it might be potentially embarrassing, or I might not look like a perfect, irreproachable person, or whatever. Life is messy. Here's your permission to make a little mess as you pull in the direction that you need to go, because not everybody will like you when you pull in the direction that you feel is right to you. That's kind of the point. Some people land on the other side of that. That's okay. I see that the people who really see you, love you, are going to be there for you, are going to stick with you, are going to come with you wherever it is you go. So don't hesitate. Okay? Okay. You have a big, that's what it feels like, a big decision to make, and you are not going to do your best work inside your head. We're all socialized to think that figuring it out and intellectualizing it is the way we're going to figure out what the right decision is. Ask your fucking body. Two of Swords to Two of Pentacles. Ask your body, hey, do you feel like going and doing this thing? Body might go, no, fuck no. I want to go home and sleep. Okay. Okay. There's many different kinds of intelligence, and I invite you to play around with your other sorts of intelligence beyond your mind. Our minds are wonderful, and, you know, if when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? So, no need to hammer on this. Okay. Let's get into an elemental forecast. We have an idea of kind of the energy of the week itself, and now we want to get into the signs themselves. Let's kick it off with the earth signs. We're going to look at the major theme of the week. I'm going to pull a major arcana card to get the theme for you. And then we're going to pull swords, cups, wands, and pentacles. We're going to look at your mental space and what, you know, bringing your attention to what serves your mental space the best, what serves your money, your physical health, pentacle things best, what serves your emotional well-being and what the kind of vibe is, and your energy. How is your energy level? Where is it best placed? Okay, so for my Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo people, and remember, you might be a sun in this or that, but what is your moon in? What is your rising sign? Pay extra attention to those elements even beyond your sun sign, because they will definitely have something to say. So, Spirit, for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn people in the coming week, what is the focus that serves them best, Spirit? What would you bring their awareness to for their highest good? That makes a lot of sense. Now give me one more, please, Spirit. What do they need to know about it? Wow. Damn, I love Spirit. Okay, all right. And you know, I'm working on it. I'm going to get some streaming software. We're figuring it out so that I'll be able to put the cards up here for you so that you can see them as you're seeing me. We're working on it. Until then, we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn people, Spirit, what do they need to know about their head space? What does it serve them best to pay attention to? That makes also a lot of sense. Okay, how about money? Health and wealth. Resources. How are resources looking for earth sign people? Beautiful. And the emotional realm, Spirit, the realm of relationships, love, friendships, connections. What does it serve earth sign people to be aware of this week? Hey. And finally, their energy, Spirit, their fire. What do you want to make earth sign people aware of when it comes to their fire? Beautiful. Community is so important for you this week, earth signs. Okay, so let's start with the primary energy of the week. Surprising, but not surprising. So first I pulled the Tower, Whenever I pull a card like this for the week, I'm going to pull an antidote card or a clarifier, because it's one thing to know a tower is coming. It's another thing to think, okay, well, what the fuck do I do? So to pull the tower and the Wheel of Fortune is really potent, because I think of the Wheel of Fortune as the equal and opposite of the tower. The tower is a shocking change that we are not expecting and not wanting. It's like, no, but I had this all set up. I built it exactly like this. This is how I wanted it. And now the world is kind of knocking it out of my hands. I'm hearing, like, I'm not worried about I'm not worried about y'all, because I see your community surrounding you. So it's like, when it comes to money, when it comes to safety, when it comes to anything like that, I see you doing well. But I feel like we are also in times where the news is just tower, 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 tower. And if we think about your weekly forecast and it going from a place of like, oh, I don't know what to do, what do I do, to starting to take some good action, to, okay, I think I have a better idea, to I'm rolling out of here with the people that really vibe with me, that rhymes with this quite nicely. Is like, okay, if I'm going to feel ejected or rejected from something, I will take that as what it is, which is a sign from the universe that that time is done. That this was never going to be built to last. That's something really important to know about the tower. The tower is something that is unsustainable. So if you recognize that there is a place in your life that feels a little shaky, job feels a little shaky, or relationship feels a little shaky, whatever it is, these are general readings, right? So earth signs, what is it for you? Is there a place where you feel a little shaky? And if there is, this is your yellow light. This is why we do a forecast. Like, okay, looking ahead, I might need to do some repairs. I might need to initiate some important conversations, because I might be able to avoid a tower by directly addressing and approaching this thing that is on shaky ground. Hey, boss, is there anything that I need to know? Is there anything that you need from me, or whatever? Or partner, are we okay? Is everything good? Do we need to talk about anything? Whatever. When you look at the tower and you address it head on, you have the power to change things and move them in a direction that can feel right, that can feel like less like a dramatic, traumatic ending, and more like a, well, now what's next? And the wheel keeps turning and I keep moving forward, and it can feel more like a positive change that creates momentum. Definitely one way or the other, the end of a cycle this week for you. So what do you maybe want to put to an end? This would be a good thing to keep in mind. What has felt shaky? And maybe I'm hearing for some of you, it's your confidence that has felt shaky. Like, I don't feel all good. I don't feel safe inside of myself. Okay, it's time to get with those friends, or get with that therapist, or get with somebody that can really see and feel you, and they can help you with this tower. This thing is shaking apart. Here's the good news. When something shakes apart, when, a building is raised, we have a whole piece of land that we can build anything we want to. Do you want to build a bridge with those tower bricks? Do you want to build yourself a little cottage? Don't build another tower. Don't do that. So let's look at your mind. Makes a lot of sense. Rhymes with the Tower card, Eight of Swords, fear of moving forward. Do we remember the Two of Swords from earlier? Fear of moving forward, fear of, here's all the reasons that it could go wrong. This one and 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 this one. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe if I wait a little longer. Maybe if this person says it's okay. Maybe. The good thing about the Eight of Swords is the call is coming from inside the house. And that can sound shitty, but that's actually way more empowering than it's the world doing this to you. Eight of Swords is, where are you holding yourself back? Where are you discounting your abilities and your strengths? Take off the blindfold, look at the problems, and then ask yourself, is this really going to stop me? Is this really going to stop me from having the life that I want? Is it worth it? And if it is, that's okay. No blame, no shame, no judgment. Sometimes it's like this, okay? Sometimes you might really want to ask the person out, and it's like risk, reward. Ooh, I really want to ask that person out. They seem really interesting. The risk is I could end up being really embarrassed and humiliated. They might turn me down, right? And if being embarrassed and humiliated and getting turned down really is like catastrophic and sounds terrible, you can decide, I'm not going to ask them out. Now, How will you feel in 40 years? That's a great question to ask yourself. In 40 years, will I be embarrassed that I asked a person I really was interested in out and they rejected me? Or could it possibly be 40 years from now, sitting next to my wonderful spouse, we're in our rocking chairs on the porch, and I'm like, I'm so glad that I asked you out. I was so scared and I just knew you were going to reject me, but thank God I moved through that fear and did it anyway. So move through your fear and get to know your fear, okay? Really take that blindfold off and don't let yourself be held back by imaginary ghosts and monsters. At least turn on the light and see that sitting in the corner, it's not a monster, it's that laundry you haven't finished sitting on the chair and it looked like a monster with the lights off. Okay? Okay. I talked about community. Now I gotta show you all of these at once. Earth signs, your people, if you have any doubt whether they're people, community, friends, family, co-workers, or like a cohort that can work with you, that can help you, that will support you, this is so loud. You could have gotten any number of the wands and the cups and the etc., but you got teamwork cards for every single one. So financially and resource-wise, there is growth. There is a lot of growth potential, and particularly it serves you to, let's talk about these two at the same time because they're so related. One is like physical and resource-based, and one is emotionally based, but you notice that in both of these, it's about get-togethers. It's about groups. It's about, she knows how to do this, she knows how to do this, and she's an expert at that, and together, they will create this piece of art. You know what I mean? And three-part harmony. Different person, different vibe, different look. We all love each other, and it is our difference that makes us stronger. It's the three-part harmony that makes that note vibrate so much more strongly and beautifully than if we were all singing the same note together. You know what I'm talking about? Get with your people. If you don't already have a group that you love or that you feel we are all focused on the same thing, again, this is the time to find those affinity groups or in-person sewing circles or a fucking book club, whatever. A dance, whatever. Pick your poison. Your mileage may vary. Beautiful card for your energy, your creativity, your spirit, the realm of the wands. Four of Wands is happiness, celebration. This is called the marriage and commitment card. So beautiful, beautiful energy for creating, for enjoying, and for celebrating. So if you get a little lost or if you feel like you've been thrown out of your tower, remember that you have people. Hey, it's Catherine. Hi, Catherine. Happy to see you. There are people around you who will support you. There are people around you who get you and who want, this is what I'm hearing, who want to see you succeed. So if you doubt that there are people that want to see you succeed and that if you've reached out and said like, hey, I've been thinking about doing this, do you think it's a good idea? I feel like you will get a chorus of voices saying, we think it's a great idea. How can we help? So don't hold back. Don't hold back, because honestly, holding back ain't gonna do shit. Ain't gonna do shit. So you can hold on and squeeze your eyes shut while the tower falls apart, or you can take a look at the blueprint and get yourself a little exit strategy. Okay? Okay. How does that sit on you, Earth signs? Let me know. I won't be able to answer all of the chats, but I'm definitely going to come back and answer any questions that pop up for y'all. So please feel free to leave those. So now, let's mix these back up. And let's talk to the water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We're going to get into the overall energy for the week, and then how things are looking with health and wealth, with love and relationships, with energy. Hey, hey, Jen. Oh, I'm so happy to see so many familiar faces. All right. And remember, you might be a sun in Libra, Capricorn, whatever. If you have 2 or 3 planets in a water sign, then the water sign forecast is going to apply to you as well, or perhaps like a water rising or a moon. Okay? Okay. Just saying. All angles. Hey, let's go. The intensity. All right. So spirit for water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, Spirit. We want to look at the week ahead. What theme or overall factor does it serve water sign people to be aware of for their highest good? Excellent. Okay. Now, what about money? Money, time, resources, and skills, Spirit. What do water signs need to know about the realm of the Pentacles this next week? All right, that also makes sense. How about the mental? Their thoughts. Is it peace? Is it anxiety? Is it still? Is it fast? Spirit. For water signs, mental space. This is getting interesting. Okay, what about love? Connections, relationships, the emotional realm. For the emotional signs, how is the water for the water signs this next week, Spirit? What do you want to bring their attention to for their highest good? Okay. And finally, what about their energy, their creativity, their fire, Spirit? How is their fire looking? And where do you advise them to put their attention? There is something new on the horizon. And I feel like, water sign people, we can be a little bit nostalgic. We can oh, it doesn't look so comfortable out there. Right here, at least, in here, the water might be ice cold, but I'm used to this water. So whether or not the water is comfortable, we have grown accustomed to it. And it can be a little hard to lift ourselves up out of, that 30-degree water and be like, oh, actually, you're right. This nice 75-degree pool, this was much nicer. Okay. Your center card, the theme for the water signs this week, teaching and learning. To what are you a disciple? Are you a disciple of a certain religion? Are you a disciple of spiritual learning? Are you a disciple of art? Are you the teacher or are you the student? Or are you perhaps both? Hey, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to see you. You may be sharing some really important lessons this week. And the Hierophant, again, speaks to the acolytes as well as the teacher. Tradition is also part of that Hierophant, and getting through hierarchies, being recognized through hierarchies. I feel like you need to give yourself permission to move in a direction that may not exactly go the way that everybody else does it. There are certain landmarks or certain, hey, welcome, welcome. Love your name, El Kabong. It's a great name. There is a certain amount of breaking away from tradition, breaking away from this is how I was told to do it. And I'm hearing something really important, which is some of us feel restricted by, oh, thank God this is one for the water signs, because this is getting a little deep and groovy. Some of us are held back by things we don't even understand because they're like ancestral. If you've ever heard of the term, I don't know why Spirit talks about the stuff they talk about, okay? I'm just the messenger. Spirit's talking about epigenetics. If you don't know epigenetics, I'm not an expert, but Spirit has talked to me about it before, so I'm going to tell you what they tell me. Epigenetics is the fact that, like, yes, your mom and dad, whoever conceived you, gave you their genetics, right? Like, everything that is possible was handed to you, but some of those genes stay locked up and some of them get unlocked and things become available to us, whether they're positive or negative. The essential truth of epigenetics is you can be set up and it can be like, oh, my mother, for example, had a few different kinds of cancer. So it's like, oh, you might have this gene and cancer could kick off for you. Let me tell you something else about my mother. She grew up in a very unhealthy, unloving, difficult environment where she was sort of forced and restricted. Imagine being in the 50s and being my mother. Imagine being somebody a little bit like me, but growing up in the fucking 50s. I would have probably gotten pretty fucked up too. So, avoiding and mashing ourselves into a box that we think other people will at least be kind to us or love us if we stick ourselves in that box, and I think not. Four of Pentacles. Don't hold yourself back. Don't believe that you do not have enough. There is a realm where you can be generous. You can give of your time or of your creativity. You have more than you know. It's like you are richer than you know. That's what I'm hearing with that Four of Pentacles. This person is clinging to their money, to their skills, to what they have, because they are afraid there's nothing else out there. There is more out there. There is more out there. There is more out there. I see you going. I see you going. Okay? So if you feel stuck, if you think like, this is it, yes, yes. Jennifer, that's true. You know personally. Oh, it's so nice to see you. So let's look at your energy. Your energy is calling you somewhere. There is an adventure calling for you. There's, we could say a level up. And I want to say that you have already come such a long way. And if you are not giving yourself credit for that, then I'm here to lovingly slap you around. You have come a long way. You've been through some stuff. Some stuff. And it makes a lot of fucking sense that after all of the stuff, it's like, at least let me hold on to what's here. Please don't make me give away or go out and find. And I feel that you are sort of being compelled. I feel that you are being compelled to go out and find. Hey, well, you know that I would love that, Catherine. You know that I would love that. You are carrying something, a burden that isn't yours. And for some of you, I'm hearing like you've been fighting. And if you're ready, you can lay down the sword. And you can say, you know what? This is not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm not here to fix anybody, even if I love them. That can be a water sign problem, is like, I love you so much. I feel so, connected to you that I need you to be well so that I can be well. That would be a mistake. That would be a mistake, and it would be disempowering both yourself and the other person. So if somebody isn't ready to be healthy, or isn't ready to grow, or isn't ready to change, or isn't ready to see another way of doing it, go ahead and drop your swords, take what's yours and go. And that's what I see. And for some of you, this is like, yes, I'm hearing for some of you, it's like around kind of relationship, like, and that doesn't have to be romantic. That could be like, my family doesn't understand me. And I've been fighting for them to understand me. I've been squishing myself into a box for so long, trying to get them to be okay with me or love me or whatever. And it's not happening. I'm going to have to go my own way. I'm going to have to make it up my own way. And I think you will. A lot of options. Pretty overwhelming, but it makes sense for a water sign. You have a lot of dreams and a lot of things that you could focus on. And you might be one of those prime candidates for what Spirit was saying earlier about like, okay, so you can't get started on your book or your art project or whatever your big thing is that you want to do, then go ahead. Go clear out the sock drawer. Go clean out the storage room. Like, go do the physical unloading and clearing out, because as above, so below. As within, so without. And sometimes it's easier to start without. Sometimes it's easier to clean our room than to clean our mind. You know what I mean? But one feeds the other. So create space. This seven of swords, 7 of cups. You don't put 7 legs on a table, right? It's going to be wonky. It's going to be off balance. Either you got to take one away or you got to add another one, but you don't stay here. So don't stay anywhere that feels overwhelming, confusing, too much put on your plate, too much expected of you. And I'm hearing like, for some of you, you can also feel, and it builds resentment, where it's like, why is so much expected of me and not this other family member, this other coworker, this other, like, I'm hearing it about different things. But it's like, ooh, I'm going to say this, and I mean it with love, so I hope you hear it that way. And I'm a very water-heavy person, okay? So this is not said from a high horse. You are not here to make other people happy. You've been probably made to feel that way because you're very sensitive and you're a beautiful mirror. So people love to look into the mirror of you and see themselves in this wonderful, wonderful way. But are you telling them the truth? Maybe you need to say, like, actually, I don't have it for you this month. So sorry. We can talk next month. Maybe we can talk about it then or whatever next week. Don't take on more. Okay? You need to do less. And you have more than you know. So if you feel like you are stuck, you are not as stuck as you think you are. There might be a hierophant that you want to talk to, somebody that you think of as a spiritual or intellectual leader that knows things that you don't. You know what I mean? And that could be true for any of us. Like it could be like a career coach for some people where it's like, I don't know how to make this thing happen, but this person has all the expertise that I need. Invite that in. That would also go with what Spirit was showing us in the weekly forecast, right? 3 of Cups, 6 of Swords, the Chariot. Like, okay, I got with my people, I got my clarity, and I know which direction I'm going in. So that makes sense to me. If there is a teacher, a guide, a leader, or even a system, okay? The Hierophant can be like a system. And what it's funny, but Spirit is showing me, I don't know what they call it. Do they call it the Big Blue Book? But it's like the book that they give you when you enter Alcoholics Anonymous. And it's like, if you're in this situation, here's what you do. It could be like that, okay? So it could be a system of, I want to build my own business and this person has a program that I joined and they're going to help me do it, whatever. Get the expertise that you need. And I feel that a lot of you have some expertise of your own that you could probably change your financial situation a little bit by sharing that. So just think about that. Think about some interesting skills and expertise that you have in your back pocket that could allow you some more freedom, some more space to move. Thank you, the big book. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Spirit is bringing up the big book. So for those of you for whom that resonates, it might be worth taking another look in there and seeing if something jumps out at you. Okay. So now let's move on to the fire signs. Let's look at the coming week for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius people. Spirit, we want to know the big theme. What do you want to bring to the fire signs people's attention for their highest good, Spirit? When they bring this into their awareness, it serves their joy, their abundance, their ease, their peace. Beautiful. Very fire signy card. I'm telling you, one day I'm going to get that little camera and you're going to be able to see us happen at the same time. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay. What about the mental realm for fire signs, Spirit? What do fire sign people need to know? How is their mental space looking and what do you want to make them aware of for their highest good when it comes to the realm of thoughts and words? Okay. What about health and wealth? What about money, resources, work, projects, Spirit? What do you want to share with fire sign folks when it comes to the pentacles? Gorgeous. Okay, seeing a pattern here, unsurprisingly. Okay, now what about the realm of emotions and relationships for the fire signs? And by the way, I will timestamp this once the stream has actually finished. I'll timestamp this so y'all can jump around. The realm of emotions and relationships, Spirit for fire sign people, Aries, Leo, Sagittarian archetype people. What do they need to know about the realm of love and relationships? Interesting. And finally, what about their own element, Spirit? Their fire, their spark, their inspiration. What do you want to share with fire signs when it comes to their own internal fire, their sparkle? What do you want to make them aware of? Beautiful. Okay, your theme card for this week, fire signs, gorgeous. The Magician, remix. You have everything that you need. If you have doubt that you have all the resources necessary to create or make any kind of change that you want to instigate something, you have it. Pentacle, wand, cup, sword. Not a damn thing that you are missing. Okay? So if you feel like I gotta wait until fill in the blank, or somebody has to hand it to me or ask me for it, no, don't wait. And don't be thinking about everything that hasn't happened or that hasn't manifested yet, because Spirit is showing you there is a sneaky cup sitting just out of your eye line. If you notice here on her cardigan, if you can read that, it says over it. So something that emotionally is like emotionally hungover, emotionally oversaturated, emotionally disappointed and bored, and probably doing some dissociating. Fire signs don't handle being bored very well. You do not need to wait. In fact, I would say go. I would say you've come quite far already, and that there is something new that wants to come in. And if you sit around and wait, I feel like you're going to end up disappointed. And if you expect it to look a certain way, and it's like, I don't want it unless it looks like this, that kind of attitude is not going to help, and it's not going to get you what you want. So it's like, okay, it's time to go out and seize my cup. It's time to take what I have and create what I can with where I am. So again, if you're telling yourself, I can't do it until blank, or I can only do it if I do it through this system, or like if this person hires me or whatever, it's like you can do it. And the magician is actually asking you specifically to do it your own way and to make up your life as you go along. That's a fire sign's birthright. Adventurers, right? Pioneers. You got a couple of threes here. You have the Three of Wands, and over here in the mental realm, you have the Three of Swords. So again, there's some disappointment. There is some, this, 3, 3. This didn't go right. This didn't go the way I wanted to. I'm really disappointed that this didn't turn out and that this didn't, oh, okay. I'm feeling for some of you, it's like I worked really hard on this and it didn't work out. And there's an opportunity to internalize that and to get to a place of like, it didn't work because I suck, because this is never going to happen for me, because people don't want this from me. Shh. If you start, the call is coming from inside the house. Three of Swords is not, importantly, a card of like heartbreak. Okay? That's the Five of Cups. That's like I lost something really important and like I'm obsessing about it. Three of Swords is I'm telling myself some nasty ass stories. I'm calling myself some nasty ass names. I'm making some really uncharitable calculations about myself and other people in here, and it's making me feel alone. It's making me feel cut off. It's making me feel like nobody will ever be able to hold my heart gently, and that is just not true. That is just not true. I feel like there's a really interesting, like, look out for number one this week, but not only number one. Okay, again, this can be like a fire sign deal, right? Like where they are on fire for life, and so they can be quite self-focused because they're usually like the brightest one in the room, right? Not necessarily everything and everybody is catching their attention. They're on their own path, they're doing their own thing, and that can mean getting a little bit tight, constricted. It can narrow the options when we get trapped in our own mind and our own narrative. Okay? So I invite you to look at your disappointment this week and think about what you could do to change the energy now. Think about the action that you could take to get yourself to a place where you feel more excited about life and more excited about what's coming, because that's really important. It's okay for you to feel disappointed. It's okay for you to feel bored. That does not cut you off from new opportunities and new experiences. Being afraid of being those things might cut you off from new experiences, okay? So now let's look at some beautiful news. When it comes to the realm of resources, money, health, etc., looking very good. Nine of Pentacles. Single and happy, self-sufficient, self-employed, financially fulfilled. These are the words that come to mind. Being able to look around and be really proud of yourself for what you've built. So I need you to do a little bit more of that this week, fire signs. You could get a little stuck in your head or a little bit stuck in a moment of disappointment. And there is a lot, there's a lot available that is good and beautiful this week. So be adventurous and be bold and really actually trust yourself and believe in yourself. And this makes me happy because that is like one of the talents of the fire signs is their courage, is their willingness to believe in themselves, and is their willingness to kind of walk through fire. So don't hold yourself back. Don't hold yourself down. Make moves. Believe that you know what you're doing, and that even if you face something that you don't know what it is or you've never handled it before, you have everything that you need, and you've got ships coming in, people that are going to help you, places that are going to open up for you. So be proactive. That's what I really hear is be proactive. Don't sit back and wait for somebody to give you permission or somebody to make you an offer. Go do your thing. Go make it happen. You can. Do it your own way. Okay. Finally, let's talk to the air signs. Let's see, what is the forecast for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius this week? I want to look at the main idea, Spirit. Where do you want to bring the air signs' focus this week for their highest good? What does bringing their awareness to serve their highest, best good? Beautiful. Okay, let's look at health and wealth and resources for the air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What do they need to know about the realm of money? Beautiful. Okay, what about their mental space? Their own element, Spirit. Please show us the headspace of Gemini, Libra, Aquarius people this month. Okay, sorry, this week. Okay. And what about emotions? Emotionally speaking, Spirit, how is the landscape? What do you want to bring their attention to? Gorgeous. And finally, their energy, their fire, their spirit, creativity, their passion. Spirit, what do you want to tell us about air sign passion? You have 3 5s. 3 5s here. Really interesting. Okay. Makes sense because there is a wake-up call this week. Judgment. Oh, that's what's happening. Oh, this is what I need to do. Oh, this is how it really is. Eyes open, can't go back to sleep. Bah, 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 bah. That kind of a wake-up call. Having an epiphany about yourself, about your life, about what you do and don't want to do. And places where I feel like you are either not getting enough and not giving yourself enough credit. Let's talk about it. First of all, let's start with your element, air signs. You have the 5 of Swords, okay? Here's your yellow light. This is the beautiful thing about getting a week ahead forecast, okay? 5 of Swords says you could find yourself in some petty, immature arguments or situations, or, you know, this can be real life. This can also look like getting into comment wars on social media. This can be like, nanny nanny boo boo biddy biddy biddy. That's kind of the vibe of this card. This is also the card of what they call a Pyrrhic victory. What is a Pyrrhic victory? It's a Greek term. It means, let us say that, you know, country A and country B go to war, and country A wins the war, but they lost 75% of their soldiers. Is that a victory? It's a Pyrrhic victory. It's a victory in name and a loss in truth. So do not get yourself into a situation where there is no winning. You may already, okay, I want to check in with you air signs. Think, is there somebody in your life that has already done this to you, that they have like kind of a history of acting like a baby? And that's just what I'm hearing, like acting really childish. It's like you are too grown up to be talking like this. Like, this is crazy. Oh no! Not chewed out. Okay, I've got some good stuff for you here, Emily, so just hold on to that because the possibility is certainly there. The possibility is certainly there. If this happens, this is part of the wake-up call, okay? This is, oh, so this is just how this person is. They really took that. I'm hearing this for some of you. It's like somebody did something unfair. Somebody did something childish and dishonest, and when you bring it to their attention, they're like, yeah, and that's what I kind of feel. Take that for what it is. You know, as the wonderful Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them and act accordingly, which can look like cutting off, which can look like, hey, listen, that would have been that would have been a beautiful response. And maybe it's better. Maybe it's better that you didn't. Not yet, or at least maybe now you're being set up for a better conversation. Like, okay, now I'm prepared, because now this is what I'm going to say if we end up in this situation again, or having this conversation again. So, got 2 more 5s. Let's talk about 5s. 5s are our conflicts, and I think of them as tests. When you end up in a 5 of Swords conversation, there is a real temptation to sink to their level. There is a real temptation to, I'm going to get you back just like you got me. Where does that get us? It gets us here. Like somebody crying, somebody turning their back on us, one person feeling like, yeah, that was great. And then they also end up not feeling great. Everybody loses when we get into that conversation. So if there is someone that you know to be this way, and they decide this is the week they want to have a conversation with you, either don't have the conversation if you don't want to deal with that, or go in prepared with your eyes wide, judgment card open. This is what this person is willing to do and say to me. And they are, whether they're a partner, a friend, a family member, a coworker, a fucking manager, whatever, this is how they're willing to treat me. Now what? Now what do I do with this Pyrrhic victory? Looking at health, wealth, resources, conflicts, and tests. The 5 of Pentacles is a card that speaks of going it alone, and it's not easy, and it feels like tromping through the snow, and in many ways it feels like being outside looking in, like, damn, how does everybody have that? How do you guys have this whole like family and turkey dinner? Oh, I hear you, Jen. Oh, I hear you. I hope that this helps you go in prepared. This is, why not me? What's wrong with me? And the most painful part about this card is it is us putting ourselves out in the cold. I'm not saying that other people or situations don't reject us or anything like that. But/and. There's an important background detail here. They are walking outside of a temple or a church, which classically is a place where you can ask for sanctuary no matter who you are, no matter what you're going through. There's a warm place to sleep and a meal for you if you need it, if you ask for it. But if they don't ask for it, nobody inside is even going to see them. They can't even see through the snow. So don't suffer in silence. That's really important. If you need something, ask for something. There is no need for you to suffer in silence, okay, air signs? There's help available. You might just have to pick up your head. And I know, especially for, you know, air sign type people, sometimes asking for help or acknowledging that we don't know what we're doing or that we need some assistance can be a little bit trying, you know? And maybe that could be related to ending up on the outs. Like, if I'm not willing to ask for help or tell people that this is too much, you're putting too much on me, I can't handle this all by myself. If we don't ask for help, we can end up feeling continually screwed over and continually unseen and unheard. And I'm not talking about it's your fault. That's not what I'm talking about. But I am saying empower yourself and speak up and say if something is not working, or you're putting too much on my plate, I'm not going to be able to complete this, or I can do that, but I'm going to need this from you, or whatever. Okay? Okay. Your lack of planning is not my emergency. That might be a phrase to to keep in your back pocket. Okay? Let's go on to the next 5, because we want to finish this on a very beautiful, positive note that you do have here. Three fives is not something to ignore, air signs. It also kind of really makes a lot of sense to me that air sign people are getting the fives because they can be, you know, the fives are about interactions and the conflict that can come out of a misunderstanding or interacting with somebody who is immature or who doesn't see you. Five of Wands. Here's the good part. It's throwing your hat in the ring. It's saying, I am fit to compete. I do have what it takes to be out here with everybody else doing their thing. And I said that these are tests, right? It's one thing to throw your hat in the ring and to throw your idea into the realm of ideas and have it bouncing up against everybody else's wand and see who comes out on top or who lasts through the whole thing. It's another thing to get stuck in a wand measuring contest. It's another thing to be looking at somebody else's numbers or whatever and going, why doesn't mine look like that? And we can end up feeling more alone, more unseen, more unappreciated. So I want to ask you to embrace the best aspect of the Five of Wands of like, yeah, I'm going to go out here and play. I have something to say. I have something to offer. You know it. A lot of people like to do it. And some of us got really big wands and we really want people to know my wand is big, motherfucker, look. But don't get caught up here. What happens after the Five of Wands? The Six, a victory. So focus on the, oh, I love this. Spirit is like, if you want to do that, think of it as sparring. The same way that someone who is learning martial arts, it's not a fight. We're sparring. I'm learning. I'm learning how fast I am, how slow I am, what I'm good at, how my right is versus my left, how are my kicks, blah, 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 where are my weak spots, etc. There is a benefit to finding out how your wand whacks. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Use it for its benefits and don't get caught up in the bullshit, okay? Now, in the emotional realm, I'm going to pick up your main card as well because these go together. In the emotional realm, the realm of connections and relationships and the way that you feel, this is beautiful. Ace of Cups, renewal, fresh new energy. Spirit is showing me like a glacier that thaws or the snow that melts from the top of the mountain and creates a gorgeous waterfall and a river and a creek to drink from. So there is a lot of renewed energy possible, and I think it comes from opening your eyes to everything that is being shown to you this week, including the difficult parts, including the people that are not supportive or the things that are a distraction to you. So I want to, I don't want to say challenge you, but I want to invite you. Hey, Archie. I want to invite you to see people showing you who they are as a blessing and a benefit, even when they're showing you who they are and who they are sucks. It's like, well, this really freed me up. This really freed me up because I used to be trying to get that person to like me or see me or hear me or understand me. And now I understand they are emotionally and spiritually speaking blind, deaf, and dumb. So I'm wasting my time. I'm going to go ahead and collect my wands or my swords, my pentacles, and I'm going to go. The opportunity to see and to get out of tests and conflicts that are keeping you small. There is a freedom in seeing people for who and what they are, again, even when it's not what you would have liked to have seen. That's like, okay, so this is not the company I want to keep. I only want to be around people who are also awake and who also hear the big booming voice from above when it talks and not the ones who bury their head in the sand. So you might be surrounded by a few people who want to bury their head in the sand or who want you to act like, Spirit is showing me those little vintage toys, like the little green army men. They want me to be like these little green army men. Like, hey, good. That's what we like to hear. So somebody's like trying to make you static and still and act like this is how I want you to act. And I see you breaking off of that. Like, Spirit is so funny, but what they're showing me is like Toy Story, where it's like the little green army men come alive, except you can step off your little platform and move any way that you want to. So you are not stuck. You may be faced with conflicts this week that could tempt you into feeling that way, but you are being asked to look at it another way and say, you know, if I am in Shawshank, for those of you who recognize the reference, I am in the prison. I got my beautiful Rita Hayworth poster right here, and I got my spoon. I'm gonna start digging my tunnel out of here, because this is a prison. Okay? You, me, Rita Hayworth, we're all on the same side. We're all gonna do this together. Remember, it's a new moon. New moon in Pisces yesterday. Today the moon is still new and is in Aries. The initiator, the pioneer, the doer, the one who believes in themselves and goes into any interaction ready to find out what they're made of. So you are being encouraged to do that. Oh, I like to hear that. Okay, yay. Thank you, y'all, for being here at our first collective reading. These will continue every Saturday. I want to be here for you. I've been trying to think of ways that I can be of assistance in such wild times, and I feel like this is probably one of the ways that I can do it, is just give us a touch point. So please, I really appreciate those of you who are here, and I know that those of you who are here are like really down with this. So if you have suggestions, if you have things that you would like to know about, if it's like, hey, I would love an astrological briefing of what the coming week is, let me know, because these collective readings are for you. And if there is a way of doing them that is helpful to you, I would love to know. So please do not hesitate to send me feedback, comments, emails, whatever. Yay! Thank you, Maria. I'm so happy to be back. This feels really good, and it feels right to get together with y'all every single week. So thank you again for being here. I hope that you'll be here next week, every week if you feel like it. Keep me posted on anything you think of that would be helpful to you, because truly, that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm doing this. And we are living in really fucking wild times. And in 40 years, I want to be able to look back and say that I did something to help and to bring awareness and awakeness to the world and kindness and love. So, cringily yours. It's been a good time. Please take care of yourselves. And I'll see you next week. Till then. Mwah! Oh, thank you, you guys. It's so good to see you. I can't wait to see you next week. Take care. You are beautiful. You're a fucking genius. Don't lose sight of that. There's a lot up here that is ready to come out, as long as you are like, I'm pretty cool. What if I just let this shit come out? Okay. All right. See you next week. Bye, y'all.